Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for the Round 6 Currie Cup review. Pretty much just a bit of a wrap up of what happened over the weekend, where the log is, what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks and how the sort of tournament is panning out. Before we do get that, please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner there, smash a like as well. Jump in the comments, let me know which game was the best over the weekend, which players impressed you and anything that you took away from the competition. We'll be doing a team of the week tomorrow, 5 things learned, as well as a preview as the Lions and the Bulls go head to head on Wednesday. We will be doing a live watch along for that as well, so make sure you keep it locked on Forever Sports. Right, back to 3 games this weekend, which was very nice. The Lions versus the Pumas got us underway first, as the Lions, not a particularly impressive performance, but got the job done as they beat the Pumas 33-25. Once again, the Pumas were in the game. They had the opportunity to try and do something, but they just can't put together that 80-minute performance. They can't keep up the intensity throughout the entire game. And whilst, the log will show that they're not doing particularly well, it doesn't tell the full story. They're a couple of players away from being a half-decent side, but they need to be able to put together that 80-minute performance and be able to compete for the entire match. Because this is another game, you've got 3 or 4 examples throughout the competition of games where they've played well, been in the game, and probably should have gotten victories. And I think if they had been sitting on 3, 4, wins more, it would have been a much better showing. And I think, it shows that they're not far away from the start, from the other side. The log will disagree. But if you watch the tournament, if you watch them play, they're not completely far away. They're not quite like the Griquas, who are, at the moment, very, very much below par. But then 2 games at the same time as the Sharks completely decimated the Griquas, 47 points to 19. A 20-minute period where the Sharks put on pretty much a try every 5 minutes, putting on 28 points between the 25th minute and the 45th minute. So a big emphatic performance there by the Sharks. Curie was the man of the match there, but very impressive performances from Epileta, Fasico, and Bosch was once again playing very nicely, and just a very good performance by the Sharks, where as soon as the game starts getting a bit more open, the Sharks really start dominating, and that's why you've got players like Pepsi Buthelezi, like Sika Noche, who really enjoy playing in the loose. Even Dylan Richardson, they enjoy playing in the loose. They're quite a team which likes a lot of continuity, that likes to throw the ball around. Epileta, Fasico, there's a lot of pace in that back line. When you've got Monty Liba coming on, it's a nice squad depth that they've got going there in the Sharks. And as soon as the games get open, they will start to thrive. So I think that's probably their big task, is to try and get games open, because when it gets a bit tighter, they don't quite have the brunt of other sides. And that's why when it was tight, the Griquas were, much more in it. Gideon van der Merwe played very well. The tight, set pieces, the Sharks need to work on it. The lineout wasn't great. Scrums were all right, but need to get better at being a tight team. When it's an open play and you've got Oxen Cherry running and stuff like that, it's fine. But when the game is tight against a team like a Bulls, they will get out-bullied. So they need to try and work out how can they prevent games from being too tight and being sort of too test match-like. And then the Cheetahs were knocked out of the Currie Cup as they lost to the Western Province thanks to a last-minute penalty kicked by Tim Sweel. A fantastic kick. But it was a very good effort by the Cheetahs, and they probably deserve more, and probably deserved, I wouldn't say they definitely deserve to be in the top 4, but deserve to at least go to that last weekend and try and have an opportunity to get into the top 4. It was a very heartbreaking way to go with so much on the line, so much for them to prove, obviously having been sidelined for the Pro 16, the Rainbow Cup, which is going to happen next year. They are, they kind of sort of had to sit there and said, well, at least make the Currie Cup / Super Rugby a qualification, for the Pro 16. Let us prove that we are within the top 4 side. They had their chance. They have come up short, so it is a bit of a heartbreaking way for them to go. You could see the emotion in Francois Steyn when he gave the interview at the end, how disappointed he was that they had played well, that they had given themselves a chance to try and stay in the competition, but couldn't get over the final hurdle, which was the biggest issue for them. But he was particularly impressive. He was the man of the match. He kicked beautifully. He brings a lot to the table. He's obviously got a big boot, a lot of physicality, not quite the sidestepping youngster it was all those years ago, the 2007 World Cup. He's now very physical, very reliable on defense, a nice leader there, and a very useful boot. But for the Western Province, it was important for them to be able to win ugly. That secures them in the top 4. And now it comes down to the Sharks, Lions, Bulls, and the Province to try and refine their game. Now it's sort of putting those last bits of things together ahead of the semi-finals, which will take place in 2 weeks' time. So if we have a look at how the log now shapes up, so as you can see, the Cheetahs on 27 points, even with a bonus point victory against the Griquas next weekend, they will not be able to progress to the next round. Sitting on 27 points, the most they can finish on now is 32, which is 1 point away from the Lions and the Sharks. So we've got The Bulls currently in first, 35 points, thanks to a ridiculous points difference of 112. The Western Province are currently tied first for them, however, with 56 points, which is quite good for the Western Province, considering that they haven't quite played consistently at their best. And I think the Western Province supporters will admit that themselves, that they've been good and they've been getting good results. But I think there's a lot left in that tank that they really need to try and kick it up to the next gear. The Lions were on a very good run, got the win against Pumas, would have liked a bonus point win, which could be quite defining for them as they look to try and get a place in a home semi-final. Because right now, if they'd gotten that bonus point, they would have won on 32, and then we're playing Bulls this week. So, look, the Lions at this stage probably looking more likely to finish. It depends on the Western Province, but very unlikely that they'll get a home semi-final at this stage, with a tough game against the Bulls, and they're not playing again next weekend. So yeah, the West Province 35, the Lions in 33 with the Sharks. Points difference on the Lions as well, very good, 61, the second best points difference in the competition. And then, as you said, we've got the Greekers right down the bottom, 7 points. They have gotten 5 losing bonus points from the 11 games, but a points difference of minus 149 really does tell quite a story. And the Pumas, 2 wins against the Greekers, they're sitting on 12 points, not getting enough bonus points from losing positions, however. They've got a negative points difference of 116. So, yeah, that's how the log is shaping up. You know, if a Bulls win this week on Wednesday means that they'll have to beat the Pumas to try and top the log. If they lose against the Lions, then the Western Province will be traveling to Durban to play against the Sharks in what could be a potential table topping game for them. You know, so lots to play for in the next sort of 7 days, really. We obviously got the Bulls versus Lions on Wednesday. The next weekend, we have Cheetahs versus the Greekers and Sharks versus Western Province. On Saturday, we will be doing a live watch-along for the Sharks versus Western Province game. A time has not been confirmed yet because these were supposed to be at 7 o'clock, which obviously had to be moved earlier because of curfew. And that's how the Currie Cup is currently playing out. Let me know what you think. Are there any favourites? Are the Bulls still the overriding favourites? Are the Western Province in for the shout? Can the Lions and Sharks sort of sneak their way into it? Let me know what you think is going to happen down in the comments below. Smash like on the video. Do subscribe if you are new. And I'll chat to you very, very soon.